Hello and welcome y'all to the June 2025 Tucson Marketo Engage User Group. I am so delighted that you are able to join us for our big show today. Before we get started, I've got a couple housekeeping items to go on ahead and slide through. The house rules of an Adobe user group are that no self-promotion or pitching of any kind is permitted. So that basically means try not to turn this into an infomercial, and we will do the same for you. Please don't contact people that you see in here outside of this group without their consent. And if anything is shared here, what's said in the Adobe user group stays in the Adobe user group. So please don't share that information without their express written consent. This meeting, as you might have noticed, is being recorded. If you don't wish to participate in a live recorded session, feel free to drop now. I will send you the recording at a later time. If you have any questions, you can email me always and ever at lauren@revenuepulse.com or find me on LinkedIn and shoot me a message there. Please do also stay connected with the Tucson chapter. In Bevy, the space where we organize our user groups and conduct our meetings, you'll find the Tucson chapter. You can follow our chapter regardless of whether or not you live in the area. We'll go ahead and keep you updated. Most of our events, if not, I'd say 95%, are virtual. So feel free to follow our chapter for more content if you like what you see today. Also, our wonderful friend Stephanie at Adobe is on the adoption marketing team, and she's looking for some research. If you consider yourself a practitioner, either at the intermediate or advanced level, and you're learning to use Marketo Engage, she'd love your feedback. So here's a form you can use to communicate with her. Grab that QR code. If you don't catch it now, don't worry. The recording is going to be sent out to everybody in attendance. You can catch it then. But a little feedback opportunity from the home office. Also, be sure to share your reviews on G2. This is, and Trust Radius as well. This is how other people shopping in the marketing automation market rely on our opinion to make their choices. So please do share your opinion if you have a moment. But that being said, I'd love to pass it on over to Mr. Lucas. I'll let him start sharing. And he is the main event today. So I'm Lauren. I'm the Tucson chapter president. I'm a Marketo Engage champ. Lucas is also a champ. So honored to have him here today to share his wisdom. And with that, I will pass the mic on over.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Can everyone see my screen?
You sure can.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so let's get this started. So first, hello everyone. I'm Lucas. I'm the director of AI and automation at Revenue Pulse. So I work a lot with AI projects, automating some processes using traditional automation, using code, and also using AI at marketing operations. I'm actually I'm graduated at Applied and Computational Mathematics, so I have this weird background for marketing that I'm not from the communication side of things, but actually from the coding and data side of things. So I mentioned I'm a Marketo champion, also a certified Marketo architect, and leader of the Brazilian MUG with my good friend Bruno. And a little bit about me, I'm Brazilian actually, and call myself a typical Brazilian because I love samba and football, and the real football, the one that you play with your feet, not with your hands. I'm very jealous that the Club World Cup is happening on the US, and I wanted to be there to watch some games, but I'm in Brazil, but that's all right. And it's a QR code for my LinkedIn. If you want to connect, please scan it, and I'm always open to chat and meeting new people. So if you came here today with this idea that you're going to learn a lot of new AI use cases that you can implement right now at your company, this is a bit of a cold shower. This is not what we are going to be discussing today, but I don't want to leave you hanging. We did a lot of blog posts, webinars, presentations of different AI use cases that you can implement, and here are the links to all of them, or at least most of them. There's always something new coming out, so we have webinars about 3 high impact, low risk AI use cases. We have a summit presentation, Adobe Summit presentation for about 4 AI use cases, and these other 4 blog posts about best and time, persona classification, sentiment analysis, and sales acceleration. So if you are looking for cool use cases, these are the right links to them. But if we are not talking about cool use cases, what are we really talking about? We're going to head down to a more strategic and maybe philosophical discussion about the future of AI in marketing. Uh, you can look on a framework that explains the future of AI marketing and how you can evolve through it, explain the foundations and gains that you can get at each level, and how to improve your AI maturity, basically from this framework. So starting with what is the future of AI in marketing, and that's something that I'm talking about with a lot of different clients, partners, colleagues, and friends in the area, how artificial intelligence is going to impact us. And I'd like to start with 2 premises. The first one is that AI is a transformative technology. It is very easy access to intelligence. It is not expensive at all. Like, okay, if you want to do a lot of things, it can become expensive, but it's pay as you go, so you don't have to make a great commitment to start using it or to start implementing the first use cases. It integrates really well with the current systems. It has great APIs. It has different approaches to integrate. So it is a transformative technology because it provides access to intelligence very easily, accessible financially, and easy to integrate too. And also, it's only getting better. So the AI that we have right now is already transformative, but it is still evolving. We are seeing every day new multimodal capabilities, new reasoning capabilities, basically new models coming out. Probably GPT-5 is coming here, 2.5 Pro from Google just arrived, so we're seeing new things every single day. Claude 4 also is like a month old now, something like that. So we are seeing AI evolve every single day. So it's going to change where we are. So where it will lead us to with this basically very cheap cost to intelligence and very easy to integrate, what I believe is going to happen after a lot of conversation is that we're going to integrate AI into our process to quickly create hyper-personalized experiences. And what I mean by that is that it's going to have 2 main impacts. The first one is in our customer experience, we'll be able to create unique experience to every lead and prospect in our pipeline interacting with us. We'll be able to deliver the right content at the right moment. So we speak to people the way that they expect in the moment that they expect with their style. But it will also impact our operational efficiency. I mean by that is we'll be able to create campaigns quicker and quicker, basically with no time to implement, and ready to deliver on a person level, not targeting mass audiences, but targeting one by one. Looking to the future, this is what I expect, but when we look to reality, we are very far from there. And I think it's kind of unrealistic that we expect that we'll snap our fingers and we'll be doing marketing the way that we do today and with all these processes and pipelines. And if they snap of the fingers, we'll be doing marketing completely automated, hyper personalized, and to in the blink of an eye. So we have steps to follow, and these steps are what this AI marketing framework explain. Basically, at the first level, what we call level 1, the first step, you have in your marketing department some AI usage, but they are scattered around. You don't have policies, you don't have a strategy on AI. Maybe your company is also forbidding AI. We are seeing still a few cases of this. They are less and less common now, but they still exist. And even if they forbid, like there are some people that are using AI even in these forbidden cases. So it is unrealistic that the lowest level would be no one is using AI. At least some individuals are. They don't have guidance for this, so the the gains that the company have are very, very small, both in operational efficiency and customer experience. Let's say the company starts evolving, the marketing department starts evolving, and now it has some policy and strategy to leverage some individual AI use cases. And now people have access to AI and are using it in their day-to-day. So you have more gains in operational efficiency, more gains in the customer experience that you're delivering, but it's still kind of a side thing. It's like you have to go to ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and ask for help. It's not embedded to your processes. You're not thinking of automated processes using AI yet. And that's when level 3 comes in, that you'll start having some processes that are being enhanced through AI and starts to enable some one-to-one experience. So you're not in this agentic world still, but you have some process that have AI enhanced, have AI embedded into it, and you have now some one-to-one experiences at least. It might not be all your experiences. And in the level 4, AI is integrated in your process to create the hyper-personalized experiences in a full level. So basically, everything you do is supported by AI in some way, exploding your efficiency and also creating much better experiences. These are the four levels that we talk about when we talk about AI maturity in marketing. And they have basically 3 foundations to help you evolve through them. The first one is team and skills, and I cannot stress how important this is. The team is the people that's going to be handling day-to-day processes and who will be able to see some processes that could have AI to be faster, to be more accurate, to be better overall. So if you have a team that is AI savvy, that is tech savvy, you will be innovating so much faster and creating so much more efficiency in the business than if it is something that is coming only top down, because, well, in the end of the day, is no order of magnitude. If you have just the C-level and directors looking for opportunities to innovate, you'll be so much lower than if the entire company is. The other foundation is data. We always heard the saying, garbage in, garbage out. Basically, if you don't have a good data, if you don't have accessible and integrated data, you will not be able to generate the best insights via AI. And finally, we have strategy, because strategy is very important to direct where the company is going and provide all these organizational efforts and alignment to implement the innovations that we need. And also, its strategy is all about investing on the right technologies to bring AI. And I cannot stress how important this is, because I had clients in the past that would say, I want to use Jasper as my only AI. And Jasper can be a great AI for one specific use case, but if you want Jasper to do everything, you will be immensely frustrated. So you have to have this knowledge of what are the right technologies to have so we can be more AI efficient. Going to be, I don't know, Clay, NAN, ChatGPT, Gemini. There are so many possibilities out there. And also, the strategy will be all about connecting the expected AI results with the company goals. So you create that sense of moving forward too, and that AI is really important to the overall strategy of the business. So with all of that, how you can improve level by level. So starting on level 1, level 1 is one level that is mostly organizational overall. It's not just marketing, but it's usually across the full organization, that you have few members using AI, so you start to spot that symptoms very easily. Some team members will execute more efficiently, but this will not actually bring an impact to the business because they are just little people, just few people doing that, not the whole team. And what you see a lot is that there is no leadership support or even mention on AI. Basically, there is no strategy, no alignment, nothing. It is a company that is not looking to AI, or if it looked to AI, is to forbid it. The causes for it is that for the team, there is no AI training. They feel unsafe using AI. So basically, there is this overall fear that if they use it, they will be punished. And the knowledge is spread around the team. It's not, the knowledge is not spread around the team, actually. It's very few people that know how to use AI. Data is not really a big blocker here, but it's any company that is on this level, they tend to have siloed data when non-standardized. So the CRM data is the CRM data, the Marketo data is the Marketo data, the data lake data is only sitting with tech and the data team is not sitting with all teams. So usually you have this problem that it's all segregated and non-standardized. And when it comes to strategy, you have a huge absence of AI policies, alignment, and no executive sponsorship, as we were saying. So to evolve from level 1 to level 2, what we actually need is implementing at least basic AI training for the team. And this is one of the most important things if you can do if you are on level 1. Doesn't have to be highly complex, but at least give the team the idea of what they can do with AI. As I said, data isn't a big blocker at this level, so the focus here is a long-term strategy on cleaning and start to standardize the data for the future. But this is not what's going to get you from level 1 to level 2. And when it comes to strategy, the goal here is that you have to create a clear AI policy and train the team on it. And I think nobody has fun creating a policy, and people are usually scared that by creating a policy, they will create more fear for people. But actually, having a policy creates more safety because people know when they can use AI and they feel backed by a company document. So having that is very important to make the team feel safe. Meanwhile, you empower them with the training. Also, you have to align the business's goals with the initial proof of concepts from AI, and you need to have some sponsors and leaders for it. And I like to bring case of our own company revenue polls in 2023, 2024. We had an AI training month that the team could pick one of three courses around AI. Would be an intro to AI, intro to ChatGPT, or intro to Python, and take it during that month. So this really started the curiosity among the team.
Good. Hey, can you just give me 1 second?
Hello, Barry. I think you are unmuted.
Sorry about that.
No problem, man. No problem.
I see you.
And then when it comes to strategy, we also created an organization policy on how people could use AI. We defined as one of the priorities for the next business year to get more efficient from AI. And also, I had the luck to become the director of AI and automation and get the sponsorship from leadership to start acting on some projects and developing some projects, which was very important to me too. So this was how we evolved from level 1 to level 2 and got a team that was feeling safe and ready to use AI, and they keep using until 2025, and hopefully they will still use for many more years. I always like to bring some data from this report that you see here on the bottom. This is the State of AI in Marketing report done by the Marketing AI Institute. If you have a curiosity, go there and read. But from it, you can see that 49% say that they still of the companies say that they are still understanding the stage of AI transformation. So they are not piloting even some AI use cases. If you are in this level, and basically understanding is level 1 and level 2. But so if you are still on this level, don't feel scared or feeling that you're left behind, because 90% of the companies are still understanding or piloting. They are not scaling the adoption of AI. They are still on the beginner levels. The main blockers usually to get from understanding to piloting and to the beginning of scaling from level 1 to level 2 and even the beginning of level 3 are usually strategy and team and skills. So getting executive alignment, getting company alignment, and also upskilling the team. Usually, marketing is also an area that tends to push forward for innovation. So we are always trying some new technologies, new cool things, but the in compliance will always present some concerns. One thing that I also noticed is very hard to get some companies invested sometimes in getting from level 1 to level 2 because it's hard to measure the real improvement from level 1 to level 2 because level 2 is basically now you have the people using AI in the day-to-day, but it's not embedded in process. So you cannot really see the difference in the processes in a company-wide results. It's very important to make this evolution step by step so we can get in a moment that we can see the financial results. And they exist. They are just harder to spot. And finally, some companies usually are faster from level 1 to level 2 if the company leadership is invested on it. So if you are a leader of a level 1 company, you are very important to make that movement to level 2. Now getting to level 2, remember now we have some company alignment, strategy alignment that allows people to use AI and explain how they can use. You have the following systems. Usually you see that the organization is using AI mostly on an individual level. So it's used to, for example, develop code. So if you were developing a Marketo API on your own, now you have AI to do it, and now you're much faster and much better at it because you have that assistance. Also being used to maybe code for a landing page or create copy or help you review your copy. So it's all very focused on individual, not on processes. This is the story of level 2, basically. And this happens because even the team still just have a basic skill set around AI. They know the basics, but they don't know how to really get deep into it. Therefore, they are using general AI and not a specific. They're usually just using the chatbots itself to assist on their day-to-day tasks. And they're mostly focused on what they can do better or faster and not on the full picture. In data, unclean and not standardized data still blocks the implementation of bigger projects here. And when it comes to strategy, you start to see this increasing worries about risks of implementing some use cases because they are afraid they are going to use PII or they're afraid of hallucinations. You still have some focus on non-ideal tech stack. So sometimes the CTO, the CMO is really focused on a specific technology that is not what you need to move forward. And also the company itself hasn't still identified which processes could have AI embedded. So they didn't take the time, or sometimes they didn't even think that this was a possibility. But to get from level 2 to level 3, we also need some deeper training on specific skills for AIs, such as how to fine tune and customize large language models. This is very, very helpful to deliver better results. Start cleaning some data for the next projects. And the main one I'd say is reevaluate the tech stack that you're using and workshop use cases with the team so you know exactly what are the proof of concepts and the processes that you want to embed with AI. And also have a focus on risk management to evaluate some ideas that will present less risks for the company. So start with the safest ones instead of over worrying about the most complex ones that you're not even thinking to implement right now. Just start with the ones that you're feeling safest about. So you can start building the guardrails, the safety mechanism that your company needs to develop more AI-focused processes. And one example here is something that I did is a custom GPT for a velocity script. I usually do some velocity scripting in some of my projects, and I know how to do velocity, but it's not something that I'm always doing. Sometimes I forget, and it can be a little hard to start doing it again because I don't know exactly everything from velocity. It's not a huge part of my job, but it is a part. And ChatGPT failed miserably on assisting me because velocity is so specific, and velocity for Marketo is hyper specific. It's a very small part of how velocity works. So ChatGPT failed every single time that I asked for help. What I did is that I prepared a set of training data. I got some of my velocity code from the past, created a custom GPT for the task, and I always use it now. It doesn't always get it right, doesn't always get 100% right at least, but it gets so much better than the original one. And I can get you probably like 95, 99% of the code just by using it. And became a big part of my day to day. Whenever I have this task, I go straight to my velocity script GPT. And well, here is the QR code if you're ever interested on using it. It is something that I'm really proud of and I really love to use. So once you experiment, there it is. And these are other GPTs that I use just for myself. I have a Lucas content writer that is trained on my tone of voice, so it knows how I speak, and I don't have to always explain to ChatGPT how I speak. I have a Marketo email HTML generator, which is very nice whenever I have to start a new email from the zero. I have an AI in Marketo assistant if I want to debate some ideas of what I could do with AI in Marketo. I have a Marketo JavaScript Forms API expert, so if I need some assistance on the JavaScript API, here it is. I have a Marketo consultant assistant that is trained on a lot of documentation and best practices for Marketo. I have an ICP analyzer and I have a master's project assistant. Because when I was writing my master's project and I had to add some references for the other articles, it was a pain for me doing that. So I created an assistant to do so. These all make my life easier. And I highly recommend that if you don't have a custom GPT, a gem, it is something that you should start doing. So again, on the report, I always like to bring that data so you can see that around 77% of people said that less than 25% of their tasks automated right now, but more than that even are saying that are going to automate them over the next 3 years. So most of the marketing departments that I see are still on level 2. They have an understanding of AI, they know how to use it, they are using it in their day-to-day, but they are not embedding them into processes. The individuals are getting more productive, but it's hard to measure the impact on the company. And if you have a question, if you are on level 2 or not, for me, this is the biggest way to know. If you have to go, if AI is a side thing for you, if AI is only because you open ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini to ask something, then you are still on level 2 because AI is not a part of your processes still. It's just something that it's there to support you and assist you. And then moving to the level 3 will actually mean moving from a person task perspective to a process perspective. And we're going to talk about this right now. So in level 3, now we are going to see that the symptoms are that we have some processes implemented, and some examples here like persona classification, bot identification, or data analysis, or best and time, or sentiment analysis, or email personalization. I added a lot of these use cases as QR codes in the beginning, and I'll show them again in just a moment. So if you are curious about any of those use cases that you can implement for processes, they will be here again. So basically, you already have AI in the processes, but it's not fully integrated. When you come to this level, team skills are not a main blocker, but there still might have some over-specialized silo teams that could be working better together, but it's not really a main blocker here. Data becomes a main blocker because now if you still have data siloed in different systems, you cannot integrate your AI infrastructure because it is all scattered around different places. And strategy is also a big part of this. Strategy, you can see, is always a big part of this because you might have a fragmented strategy focusing only on very specific areas with no medium long-term vision for AI. And also, if you focused on the wrong tech stack in the past, now it's going to be very, very hard to integrate or just impossible to integrate. So sometimes you see those things happen. So you invested a lot on this specific technology for, I don't know, whatever that don't have API connectors, for example. Now it is impossible to integrate that because you cannot automatically do so. And to get from level 3 to level 4, what you need there is to integrate and consolidate your data. And there are many different solutions for that, like PaaS, ETL, data warehouse, CDPs, etc., etc., etc. Probably the solution will be a mix of all of those. And you have to reevaluate your tech stack, maybe replace some things and develop also an AI roadmap for the future, bringing that clarity. When you start talking about level 3 to level 4, it's very hard to discuss exactly what will bring you to level 4 because I actually never seen it. But these are guesses that are taking us to that level, that full orchestrated AI processes that can deliver campaigns over hyper-personalized very, very fast. One of the examples of the processes for level 3 that I like is the AI persona classification, because many of you as Marketo experts have those segmentations based on job title contains. So if job titles contain this specific word, but don't contain that specific word, then it is this persona. So we build this whole complex, intricate logics, very, very hard to maintain. You always have to go there and update it. It mass classifies a lot of people. So this is one very useful use case because AI can actually deliver on a better way. You can create your own fine-tuned large language model based on your persona definition and connect that with Marketo and automatically classify your database. And as I said, here are the use cases again. If you have got more interest about that, this is the AI persona classification one. And it uses no PII, so it is an amazing one. And it's also talking about in this webinar and this webinar here. So if you are interested on that, you can check both of them out. And we'll share the slides with you guys in the ending. So then, so if you want to check the use cases after, you can check this out. So in level 3, we're saying the main challenge is to make AI a big part of your process by augmenting or optimizing them with AI. AI now is not just a side thing, but it's really a part of your processes. And what I want to do from level 3 to level 4 is to integrate this process more and more so they are end-to-end. Usually, as you get more and more to this level, strategy and data become the blockers. Very few marketing teams are here, actually, as you can see for this response from the State of AI Marketing report. Only 19% of the companies have AI roadmaps, are looking to the future, and are understanding how AI will impact in the long run. And when you get to level 4, then it's basically heaven. AI will provide the conversational interfaces that allow marketers to create the campaign by just explaining it. The time to market is almost zero. You have a one-to-one personalized interactions all the time, and the AI is leveraging engagement throughout the life cycle. As I said, very few companies, if any, are in this level. We are seeing the first advancements to get here. And we actually yesterday launched Auto, our own agent from RP that does some cool things for Marketo using AI. So you can interact with it, for example, via Slack to deduplicate leads. So you can find a specific lead in Marketo. And you can see that Auto found 2 different ones. And then you can just say, hey, merge them. And it will do that for you. So we're seeing this first agents start to appear and really autonomous, that you don't have to build workflows for this, that you can just send instructions and it will duplicate leads, for example. in the campaign level, it can also go there and create webinars, for example. So in the left, you can see an Asana ticket. On the right, you have Marketo with a simple but effective webinar template with smart campaign, list, email, and a few tokens. And you don't need to be very specific about the webinar and how it works. You can just tag Otto and say, hey, work on this. And it will on the background. And you can see now it created the program, the exact same one as the webinar template. And it also updates the tokens just based on the ticket description. You don't have to say, these are tokens that you have to update. It can understand what the ticket requires. And finally, let's say you are ready to launch a campaign, so you can send some test emails to your email address. You can ask Otto to do that in the same ticket. And since you're in the same ticket, you don't even have to specify which is the program, just very natural conversation there. And you can check the email. If it is looking good, you can just say, hey, activate smart campaigns to launch the program, and Otto will do so. So you are starting to see some of this agent approach that really accelerate the time to market of a campaign like Otto. And that's all. Thank you, guys. If you have any questions, I'm here.
Amazing job as ever, my friend. Thank you for sharing all
Thank
this
you.
wonderful information. To the crew out in the audience, what questions might you have for Mr. Lucas? Well, if there are no questions, you can always reach out to us independently and ask your questions on LinkedIn. We're easy to find. Or, as I mentioned at the top of the meeting, Lauren at Revenue Pulse is the way to find me via email. Otherwise, thank you so much, Lucas, for joining us today. Lucas will be headed off to a program at Harvard in just a couple weeks to learn more about AI and to continue pushing forward with innovation. And we're so excited to see what he brings back from that experience. So super, super grateful for you as ever, my friend. Thank you all for attending, and I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Take good care.
Thank you all. Thank you, Lauren, from the invite. See ya.
Thank you. Bye-bye.